Marty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Free, Marty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Dead God Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Free, Marty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lord, let's 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 pick a bale of cotton. Dead God Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Free, Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Dead God Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Free, Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lord, let's 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 pick a bale of cotton. Dead God Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Free, Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Dead God Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Free, Almighty gonna pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lord, let's 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 pick a bale of cotton. Dead God Almighty, 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 God Almighty. Oh Lord, let's pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lord, let's pick a bale of cotton.
We didn't descend from no cotton patch. My family didn't come from no plantation. Greetings. My name is Grandmaster Dr. Germon Moriniere-Bey. And to secure our lineage and our family, we would just use the same names over and over again. In fact, I had 9 names on my birth certificate. And as my cousin Carl calls our family, we are intellectual monsters. Okay, we did a little service up in the big house, but it was like this. Even though they may have been in charge, we were in control. Welcome to my world. No, really I should say welcome to our world, okay? I got not quite a few personalities, just several. Well, I want to start with Pooh. Pooh was the name that was given to me by my family at birth. It's a nickname. I had a great time being Pooh. It was fantastic. But I did have a real name. My real name was Germon. And that's one of those 9 names that was on my birth certificate. Now, Germon is the one who went to school. I went to an all-girls private Catholic school. Had a good time. And most important, I had I was a ballerina. I was a ballerina for almost 20-some years. I just loved ballet. Then I had schoolwork. Had to learn schoolwork. All girls private Catholic school. Even got a scholarship to the University of Pennsylvania. But when I got to the University of Penn, I first found out that there was another gender other than female. Men, boys, males. Whew. Well, anyway, quick story about that too. When I lived in the dorm I lived in was an all-male dorm, and it had this urinal. I'd never seen a urinal before. I thought that's where you washed your feet. I actually stood in it and flushed it several times, Our resident manager, there was another young lady from Minnesota. So we weren't allowed to go out like everybody else. But I didn't know. Water, flush, you wash your feet. So, but I did get involved in the Black Panthers during that time. I was G. Conrad. A lot of people don't know that many famous entertainers were into the communist movement during that time. I have to talk about one thing in relation to myself and how all these personalities came out. If you notice here on my arm, is a chess piece. Just like these chess pieces, but it's a very special chess piece. It's the queen. The queen is the strongest piece on the board. That's why the strategy of life is based around the strategy of chess. Now, don't get me wrong, Germon from the earlier time did have a boyfriend in high school. We were even Mary and Joseph one year in the Christmas pageant. But at Penn, I got to meet guys who some people might refer to as a little more streetish. And that is when I met the father of my children. He's a thug. And that's, when you're biracial, you have a tendency to want to prove you're black. I had to prove I was black. And this gentleman, I was 19 years old, he was 12 years older than me. 12 years, that's a lot of life learning. And Germon thought she knew what was going on. Now, remember, Prue was still going to see her family, and she was still the baby of the family. But then there was always G. Conrad there, kind of keeping an eye out on things. Well, so he went from boyfriend to husband. I got pregnant right off. Had my first child, got pregnant again, had my second child. Come to find out that this man had a very wicked side. Now, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. Oh, but I would say after the first 2 weeks we were together in the house, he started beating me. And the beatings depended on whether he was doing drugs or drinking. If he was drinking, he would beat me with something. If he was doing drugs, he beat me with his hands. And that kind of crushed Germon's spirit. Germon was not the happy student anymore. Germon was a captive, a domestic captive. Well, he got tired of me at one point and decided it was time for me to die. And the sad thing is, the only joy I had in my life were my sons. My sons. Yeah, they gave me a reason to live. And not let that man beat the life totally out of me. Well, imagine, I would say it was about 20 months into our relationship. I just had bruises all over my body. It was just a matter of when he was going to pick the day that he was going to kill me. It was a Sunday afternoon, and he had come in. He was very angry, had been drinking, and he took a pipe. It was a very large pipe, and he just ran at me. I pushed my children into the corner and told them, hold on to each other, hold on to each other. And then he just started swinging the pipe, beating me in my head, my back. And the blood started to come out of my eyes, out of my ears. And I could feel it swelling up in my throat. So I laid there very quiet and didn't move. So I guess he thought I was dead. He didn't even bother to look at his sons, and he just ran out the door. That's where I laid. I listened. He broke the key off from the door. So I was like, oh my gosh, now what do I do? But my children were my first priority. So I took my sons and I put them in a crib. And then I took the playpen and I put the playpen over top of the crib and tied them in so they couldn't crawl out, couldn't follow me. Then I ran over to the window and pulled the curtain so I wouldn't cut myself up, and I just threw myself through the glass. I ended up on the porch, and then I crawled across the porch. I began to walk 7 blocks to the hospital. 7 blocks. And in Philadelphia, no one was going to stop for somebody who's covered in blood. By the time I got to Albert Einstein Emergency Ward, because that's where I was, all I could say to the nurse on duty, who, by the way, used to see Germon when she would get beat every now and then, my children are 6414 Sydenham. And I passed out. For the next 6 weeks, I laid in intensive care. My grandmother, of course, stepped in, took my sons, took care of them, and I said, when I get out of here, this is never going to happen again. Well, we went to my grandmother's house when I got out of the hospital, and one day I was coming back from work, and he was across the street. So I was running. I hauled ass up to the door, ran in the door, slammed the door. My brother was holding the door, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, Mama Reed, call them. Call the cops. And she said, step away from the door. And I was like, no, what you talking about? Step away from the door. Don't you understand? He's banging on the door. He's banging on the door. And she goes, step away from the door. My brother and I jumped away from the door. The door burst open, and all I heard was my grandmother pulling on the chainsaw. And she had it in there, and she chased him all the way out of the house, down the steps, halfway down the street, needing to kill him. That was my Satori. That was my moment. I knew I had to rise from the ashes. Had to rise from the ashes. That was my Phoenix moment. Wow. I mean, my grandmother, even though she is now an ancestor and she transitioned at the age of 102, she was the warrior. She was the one who triggered in me the need for self-preservation. So, I didn't want my grandmother to catch a charge, and so we started to move around, and I found a women's shelter, and what we would do is we'd sleep on the Broad Street subway. I'd go to work during the day, take the kids to school, and until we found a permanent place to stay. But I was still Germon. I was still Pooh. So I started looking for anybody, even from my Black Panther days, who could give me the information or place that I could go to learn how to protect my children and myself. So I was fortunate. I had kind of relocated to North Philadelphia. I wasn't up there on Lincoln Drive or out in the suburbs anymore. My mother didn't want to hear it. My mother at that point still said, what did you do to cause him to beat you? See, I wasn't feeling that. So we went undercover. And I met a friend of mine who eventually said, okay, well, I know this group, this African martial arts group. And I said, yeah, that's what I need, martial arts. Not karate, no hi-ya, nothing like that. I need to learn how to kill. So they took me to the school. And when I walked in there, I knew right away, this is where I need to be. Thus, the birth of my next personality, Germon. That specifically, Walimu Jamal Maisha. That's where I found this love for weapons. Oh yeah. Jamala was into a whole other mindset.
Her reputation has followed her all the way, not just nationally, but internationally, from what she has learned from us in Vita Side. when we were at a tournament and she did fighting weapons and forms. She happened to want to do the breaking also, and she wound up with a tie. Not only did she wind up with a tie, let me tell you what she did. The 2x8x16 cinder caps, she broke 2 of them with her head. I can't even do that. I'm not even capable of doing that. At least I haven't tried to do that. That just overwhelmed my heart and my soul to have enough heart and soul to go through the 4 inches of cinder cap. She is the highest ranking right now, and will probably die the highest ranking because I don't think anybody's going to catch her. You know, I don't think anybody's going to catch her.
I began my training. My training became my second job. I had another way of earning some money to take care of my sons. It became my world, my life. I was good, especially with the weapons. I traveled. I was overseas in Germany. I won every competition that they had there, even for the military. I was so excited, and I came back, and that's when they transferred me to Texas. Well, things didn't exactly turn out the way they were supposed to in Texas. Yes, I got in a fight. Yes, it was with law enforcement. Yes, I ended up in prison, incarcerated. But that, again, I'm going to leave a little bit of that for the book. But I learned one thing during my incarceration, that there is a creator. And the most important thing is that you learn who your friends are. Because those people who didn't want to be bothered with 477-89066 just dropped off by the wayside. It was kind of like a chess move. People who really weren't there for me were now out of my life. Well, when I got out, I was able to learn about society. Society, and I want to spend 30 seconds on this. We talk about those people who've committed sins, what society says, or someone has gone and been incarcerated. How do we take them when they come back, when they return as citizens? It's not easy. I did supervised release. I did probation. And some people look down on people, and that's wrong. Very wrong. How can I say this? Mama OG. Mama OG was the name that was given to me by the young people that I've worked with, street level associations. A lot of young people are struggling out here in the world. I am a torchbearer, so I lead the way. I turn the light. I'm not a pathfinder. These roads have been done by hundreds of people long before me. I'm just turning the light on, raising the light a little bit higher. I've still done my dance. I've still done my teaching. I had the opportunity to teach at Howard University with Dr. Arvilla Jackson and talking about service learning. This personality probably is the most active one. Pooh's still there. She's there. My cousins call me Pooh. We're still family. Germon is still there. Dr. Moriniere-Bey is there. Jamal will never leave. But Mama G is the legacy. That's the legacy that I guess you could say I'm most proud of that exists. Because it's great to have a student come back and go, "Hey, Mama G, you haven't changed at all. Oh, it's so good to see you." And now this child is like 10 foot 10. And they're happy. So, I love being Mama OG.
Yeah, about 40 years ago, she came to compete at my martial arts event. What was so outstanding about it is that she was a female, okay, and she had outstanding abilities as a martial artist.
I first encountered her at an African martial arts conference that Kalinde Aye invited me to present at, and all the presenters there were men except for one little woman whose name called herself Mama G, and they called her Mama G.
And the thing that she was not being recognized at that particular time, just because of the fact that she was a female. But she was very, very outstanding, and she was really prolific in her studies. Not just her ability to do the techniques, but as far as the martial sciences, I think that she was top of the line.
So I feel like Mama G has added a whole lot more to my background of martial arts and her martial science background, because she's strengthened me as a woman. Seeing another woman do martial arts is very hard to find. There's not very many women who take that as serious as Mama G did. It just made me more intrigued to learn it, because I think as a woman we all should have some type of self-defense mechanism, period, just because the way society is set up.
A little biography for her, because I published in the local newspaper, and a lot of people were excited about her coming back the very next year, and she knew it, and put on even more of a performance, because at that particular time she brought forth more of the African martial arts culture, and I think her students were there. It was quite a demonstration.
So what you have is a person who has touched an extraordinary energetic place that human capacities come from at a very, very high level. That survival, that I have the right to be here, I have the right to survive, to exist. And what she has done is that's diamond hard, you know, and she has surrounded it with the softness of using that strength to protect children, to protect her community. That's why they call her Mama G, but it's a Mama Tiger. What I find most impressive about her is the way she has taken that wound and created not just strength, but found ways to share that strength with her community in a way that allows others to be strong.
I think it is still important as a woman that just because I have that background in martial arts, that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have that emotional, vulnerable, maternal, just feminine side. It's just a matter of me protecting myself. It's important, period, for any woman to remain as a woman.
I love her. I love what she stands for, what she represents, and from what I can see, if she starts something, she finishes it. Now, we got individuals out there working hard, trying to help other individuals first before they even help themselves. She's the one that's going to do it. She's a giver. She gives. So I would like to try to give back to her so that people will know who she is and where she comes from and what it represents with her martial arts.
And here she is, the queen, the most powerful piece on the chessboard. Now, I am a woman. I love being one. I love putting on makeup and pretty dresses. I mean, I'm powerful in the sense that I'm a warrior in the African martial sciences. But to all my daughters and sisters and all the women out there, anyone can be powerful. You can be a warrior and you can still be a woman. Now, here I'm putting my queen in position to checkmate the king. First and foremost, game over. There is a move in chess, which is called scholar's mate. It means checkmate in 3 moves. A scholar, someone who's learning, who's taken the time to study and to execute strategy. Remember what I said? the queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard. So in your strategy, you can still and always represent as a woman and still be a warrior. Here we end our conversation. Until later, peace and blessings.
Remember, we descended from African empires, royalty, scholars, mathematicians, scientists, and great combat warriors. We did not evolve from the cotton fields of slavery. We gave civilization to the world. Ashe.
You get loose, get introduced to machete, steady a petty rhetoric. You can't match the stamina. You master the interior, carry yourself like characters cause your flesh too inferior. Before you master your honors, have superiors, never test your mala. Who knows best? Word to the mama OG. My words like herbs to slayer, worrisome nursery slurs like a sauna. I heard the competition fishing for some drama. I like my dishes crisp, leave your lip blistered like sriracha, got you covered in heat. Lying down, he got it covered in beef. Warrior son, I puts it down in the kitchen, smothering treats. Empress Ascari wears the coveted crown, conquered the town for years. You don't want that round, take a seat. We so profound in the streets, just look around as they leech. I school intuition with 10 through 1. It don't cost a thing to be rich. My word is the law. I'm talking tough, I'm walking tall. There be no bluff in my strut. All that I kick is no flaw. When lose or draw, I never slip. I clench my gifts inside my fist and raise my wrist with a cause. My word is the law. I'm talking tough, I'm walking tall. There be no bluff in my strut. All that I kick is no flaw. When lose or draw, I never slip. I clench my gifts inside my fist and raise my wrist with a cause.
Greetings, everybody. Bayonique, where you see the voices going. Much love to everybody who supported. Imagine, almost 50 years. This is a platinum award, 50 years in the martial sciences, representing the African martial sciences from beginning to end.